Over a series of videos, I'm going to show how you can take this clamp mechanism that I've assembled in Solidworks and animate the mechanical function. So let's have a look at the output of what I'm going to try and put together. Okay, so what we have here, we have a couple of gears and we have a functional spring. You can see that the spring's compressing and the cogs and the rack are moving in unison to close the clamp. The handle meets a hard stop at the bottom, and the clamp sections also meet a hard stop at either side. So let's start from scratch and put this together. So I'm starting with a new assembly. I've pre-modelled all my parts, so let's draw them in. So I've got a body, a clamp, a handle, a key, a rack. There's no spring at the moment. So let's first place the body. Clamp times 2. You only need one model. My handle, the rack, and then let's place the key. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is turn off this fixed position for the first component that was entered. So we're going to make this body float, and then we're going to mate it to the assembly planes, the front to front, top to top. This is part to assembly basically, and right to right. And this is going to be helpful later on when we add a component. We'll see this later on. So let's put the clamp jaws in place. We're going to use basic mates wherever possible. We're going to avoid any kind of tangency mates because they can cause some issues in animations, and they especially did during the practice trial runs for this. So we're going to avoid any kind of tangency mate, but really basic mates where possible. And I'm now adding a parallel alignment here. You can see. So these parallel alignments, these are just to place the part. And at the moment, the part is fully constrained, so that both clamp hooks are fully constrained. But as you can see, there's no minus. They're fully constrained at the moment, but this is just to get them exactly where I want them, and I'll turn this mate off later. So now you have a conundrum of whether to attach the rack to the handle or attach the handle to the body. So I think I'm going to attach the handle to the body. So I've got a little keyway here just to align the handle. I found during the trial runs for this tutorial that not having a keyway to align to did cause some issues, so I've opted to add it in. So here we have our handle, and I'm going to add this mate, which I can turn on and off, and this is just for alignment. So this is the handle meeting its hard stop, can go no further. And now we need to place the rack. So let's put the rack where it needs to go, attach it to the handle. And then we're going to pin it using our key. Okay, so we're just going to go with concentric. Oh, I've deselected the part, so let's get in close. Select the second face. Key is now concentric, or the top of the key is, and now the bottom of the key is. And then we can move it, and the key was just needs to be constrained. It needs one more mate. Coincident mate, and it's in place. Now the rack's not quite pinned. We need to stop it rotating. So it looks good at the moment, but it's still able to move, and you can tell that by on the left hand side, looking at in the parts tree, the little minus feature. So I'm just going to pin it using this concentric mate to the key. Okay, so now you can see on the left hand side all the mates. There's no minus figures next to the description. Everything's fully constrained, but there's 3 mates that I want to turn off now, and I will be doing that in the next video, where we're going to start making some of these parts move. But for now, I'm just showing you that everything, the parts that I want to move, will move when we turn off the parallel mate that was constraining the cog. Let's turn the handle backstop back on, and you can see everything's aligned. So it's really important that you get everything aligned, and this will leave us in good stead moving into the next video. Let's just save it. And then we're going to pick this up in part 2.